Hey everybody, welcome to another Arkham Horror the card game Mythos pack review. The Miskatonic Museum. As you see right here, this guy, he's the guy. This is his scenario.
The hunting horror.
The hunting horror.
This is his thing.
So of note, we fucked this one up bad the first time we played it. Twice. Yeah. So the first thing we did is we didn't put all the locations down. The second thing we did was we didn't read this card.
We didn't read the act deck.
Yeah, we didn't read some of the reading is tech.
We didn't read enough of the cards, only some.
Yes.
He didn't get any better.
Only the ones we wanted.
To kill.
Yeah, it just keeps showing up. Albeit, doing it right, there's a lot more strategy involved than ours, which was just, this asshole's back, boom.
I thought I already killed you.
Yeah.
I thought I killed you.
Yeah. So the theme mechanic behind this one is the hunting horror is the only monster in this one. And it's this recurring monster that keeps getting stronger every time he shows up. There's a variety of cards in here, like this Shadow Spawn, that makes him better, as well as the agendas. Whenever he spawns, either you attach this to him, if it's not already attached, or you put a resource on it, which makes him stronger.
Yeah, so he's kind of just, you're going into the museum to grab the Necronomicon for Armitage.
Well, to check on it.
Yeah.
Usually someone already tried to steal
Yeah,
this.
but like if you're playing with Travis, you're going in to grab it.
It's sweet.
The value's too strong.
It's plus I'm fucking gain 2 resources.
And there's just
Travis
this monster's
all about those books bound in human flesh and
You need
inked
them.
in human blood.
Someone else collect those.
The monster's then he's just flying around the museum and he attacks you, and you have to make your way through while avoiding the creature. Yep. Overall, like, he gets tougher as it goes, so sometimes you're just like, okay, we're gonna just evade him and let him catch up to us.
Yeah.
Right. And there's some rooms in the museum that help that, but overall, you start outside the museum, then you can either like break in or
like knock on the door.
Knock on the door. And then there's 2 people who can potentially join you, depending on which route you go.
It doesn't really matter. It just changes whether you have access to the security office or the administration office, which fulfill pretty much the same function.
Yeah. And I don't know if I said in the last video, the Dunwich Legacy, these guys actually add the symbol to your the token bank. I don't know if Jazz actually did that. I might have just been misremembering. But these guys actually, if they die, they add the symbol.
Permanently.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think we had them die when we played. But...
No, we were too like, this is bad. Let's make sure we keep these guys alive. Oh my god, I'm dying, but
No,
Adam Lynch is okay.
Yeah. So this one you just kind of wander around until you get access to the exhibit halls. Just looks all the same. And you're looking for one in particular that's got the book.
Yeah.
A lot of these have victory. If you have someone who's really good at fighting or someone who's really good at evading, this is another good one to try and chew up some experience with. As you can see, there's like, 5 locations that have victory 1, and relatively low number of clues. So,
Also, one thing I like is, one of my favorite things about this game is just the difference between like when you have all these different locations and just seeing the art and the flavor on the cards. Yeah. And I like this one.
The art on these is fantastic.
Yeah, just like
it's just got like a bear guy in it.
The Athabascan exhibit is the one where you can, while you're in this area, you get +2 foot. So this is the room you go. You send your foot guy in to just keep evading the hunting horror, and they're just running around like Benny Hill in this area. The Egyptian exhibit, after you fail a skill test while investigating this location, lose 1 action. So they all kind of punish you for failing and taking your time here, all with kind of the flavor of the thing, of the room they do. And so the Hall of the Dead is you take 1 horror whenever you fail here, because there's a lot of, I guess dead stuff.
Yeah, like creepy dead guys.
Yeah, they're like, oh.
You know, this reminds me of those old Scooby-Doo episodes where they're all like running through the doors in the same hallway.
Yeah.
And then eventually you come face to face with the monster, like,
I like the flavor of this one, which is the exhibit hall, which is the bears. After you enter this, discard 2 cards from your hand at random. It's like...
You get scared, there's a bear.
Oh, fuck! I dropped all these things, I can't pick them up, though.
Yeah.
And then there's the exhibit hall, which is the actual room with the Necronomicon. And while the hunting horror is at this location, it can't be investigated. So you don't want the hunting horror here, you want them running around the Athabascan hall.
Yep. Forever.
Yeah. So the mechanic for this one is also there's a stack of 6, and it's in the bottom 3, right?
Yeah. And one of the locations lets you dig through the administration office, I believe. Yeah. No, it's the other one, the security office. You can spend 2 actions to... On one of the locations, you can spend 2 actions, look at the revealed side of an exhibit hall in play or the top card of the deck.
And that's where Adam Lynch comes in, because his ability is all of the double actions in the security office only count as 1.
Yeah.
Because he knows how to, I guess, open up a camera.
Because he like works there.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, this is the Arkham Baskin Hall. If the hunting horror shows up,
Yeah.
go in there.
And the other guy gives you access to Administration Hall, which is just like very low shroud.
Yeah.
That's the bear one. Don't go there. The bear might eat you. I'm pretty sure it's dead though.
I see this one as a little bit of an extension of the core set actually, in that its primary function is to set up the story with the Necronomicon, and also introduce one of the big mechanics for the later expansions, which are these like this sort of milling theme.
Yes.
Where they discard cards from the top of your deck and punish you for it. The big important ones for this one are like the Arcane Barrier.
So yeah, this one, if you move through it, you have to do a Brain 4 test. If you fail, you have to either discard the top 5 cards of your deck or cancel your movement. Which sucks, especially in tandem with the big card. Not this one.
Not this one. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Beyond the Veil, right? Yeah.
Yeah, this one.
This one will explode you good.
So yeah, this one stays in your threat area, and you can only have one of them, which is great.
Yeah.
But if you ever cannot, if you have no cards in your library, you
Deck.
take 10 damage.
Yeah, so that's bad. Instead of just taking one horror and shuffling them back, you probably die.
Yes.
Unless you're like Mark Harrigan, you're like, oh, I have like 20 health and assets.
Or maybe like you've had worse, or you've got the devil's own luck.
Yeah, but for the most part, you're probably gonna die.
Yeah, so essentially there's
Probably.
more ways to deal with it now than there was when this just
When this first came out, I remember
we were
playing
like,
this,
oh shit! And then like the end of turn would come, we'd be like, I don't want to draw a card, but I gotta. Okay.
I remember sitting there as Rex the first time I played through my cards and like, these all draw cards. I can't do anything.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of the mill theme.
Yeah, like there's this one test brain. If you fail, you mill that many.
So with the red shit of death, you essentially just lose 5, and it's just like, oh, that's
That's good.
Yeah.
Which normally like milling cards isn't that dangerous, but they do a good job of making it relevant in this game.
Yes.
I think. Push into the beyond, like you shuffle a non-story asset in your deck and then mill 3, and if you hit a copy of it, you take 2 horror, which like seems like it'd be deterrent for multiple copies of cards, but it really isn't.
And actually, yeah.
Yeah, the trick with that one is just not to play any non-story assets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just beat the game naked.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
Yeah.
If you're Rex, you can. You can do your job pretty well. Terror from Beyond is the last one from this set, and this one, I mean, like, it's not relevant to the milling theme, but I do like it in that it can cause some tension in your group, especially with it being a peril, so you're allowed to consult your
Peril is
allies.
a great mechanic, because in single player, it's not a problem. Like, peril doesn't matter.
You just look
But
at
as
your cards,
soon,
you're
like, in
wow.
a 3 or 4 player game especially, it's just like, oh, okay, we're in trouble.
Yeah, you just like look, like you have to. There's a lot of thought. Like initially, you just look at your hand, and you're like, oh, I don't have any of this, I'll pick it. But then you have to think like, if you're playing with a minty Fanger team, even if you don't have any skills, maybe you don't want to pick that one. Maybe it's better to throw away like your 2 assets so that she can keep her skills and like Safina can keep her events, right?
Yeah.
So, I think that's a very well designed card.
And then it also has like it's also very well designed in the fact that you can't cheese it because there's that second clause on it.
Yeah, if this is not the first copy of Terror from Beyond drawn in this phase, you choose 2 card types instead.
Yeah.
So you have to pick one. Basically, you have to pick one you haven't already chosen.
Once again, just showing very smart design for them.
A surprising amount of foresight having played Lord of the Rings.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So what do we think about the theme for this one?
Well, I want
the
reward for this one.
Necronomicon. Yes.
So you don't have to take this one, but you should because it's fucking.
And it adds a squid token to the deck.
Something like that.
Token bank, right?
Yeah, Travis has never cared about that part.
Yeah, that's not that.
Well, because he never draws it. It's fine.
Yes. What did we do?
But what it does is you get +1 book, and it's just as an action, gain 2 resources. It's especially great with Daisy Walker.
Yeah, you get a squid token.
It's like, I'm going to just here gain 2 free resources this turn.
Yep.
Because I also agreed with taking it when we did our second playthrough,
It's
and I was Daisy.
very, like, especially with the core set investigator, the yellow one, like it's a book. So like you just get 2 free resources every turn, which is great for her, and especially if you have higher education, you can pay for that really easily. Like it's just
a very good
plus
card.
book, like not even for just investigations, like the magnifying glass. It's just plus book. It's just it's a nice, simple, very efficient card.
I'll go as much as say that even if you had to put 2 squids into the token pool, I think it'd be worth it to take still.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think it depends.
3 probably not.
I think it depends on how many investigators you have, right? Because
a little bit too.
if it's just you, then it's like, well, I take this, I get the reward, and I'm facing the risk. If you've got 2, then one of you's facing a risk without reward.
And then when it's Travis,
3,
you and I are just drawing squid
it's just me
tokens,
and
and
you,
he's just
so-
running around being like, I got the Necronomicon!
It also, It's also relevant. Like the higher difficulty you play, the more likely it is you should take this.
Yeah.
Because, even if you put 2 squids, then like who cares? You're gonna fail most of your tests anyway if you're playing on expert.
Yeah. All right, theme
That's
for
true.
this one. What do we think of the theme?
I think this one does a good job of
I think the hunting horror.
representing the idea of rummaging through a museum while
Yeah.
being chased by a giant snake.
I give this one like a 3.5 or 4. Yeah, like they do a good job of having a ever-growing enemy. The museum feels like a museum. There's variety. There's lots of rooms. You can get lost.
Yeah, I'd go more for a 3.
I think there's a little bit of a disconnect between the actual effects in most of the exhibit halls
Yeah.
and like what their thing is. But
Yeah. I'd go for 3 for this one.
yeah, okay.
All right, now we go to fun, and I'm just gonna say it. I don't think this one's that fun.
It's way more fun when you actually put the counters on the guy.
Yes.
Instead of just gunning.
Yeah,
And in all fairness, I have never played this one with the character who's supposed to fight the hunting horror. I just go around going to locations, or Ashcan Pete, who is just doing God knows what.
Well, I mean, this.
No Duke.
I seem to remember him just like smashing his head into an arcane barrier until he couldn't remember which one was the dog and which one was the man.
that was a good time.
So, like, in my opinion, I give this one a 1.5, but I want to know what you guys think. I'm just saying that I don't think this one's that good.
I give this one, I mean, like I'd say 2, 1.5 is fine, but like again, there's nothing like exceptional about it, but there's nothing bad.
I'd probably give this one a 3. I think it's better than the other 2
Cool. We'll go with
so far.
2.5. I think that's a more fair thing. I am biased, I think, against it. So I think a 2.5 is.
Yeah, like if you are playing the Yellow Investigators one, is just like go around look for clues.
Yeah. I think actually fighting the monster, which I'm going to try whenever I do this one again, would make it a bit more fun. So difficulty. How difficult is this one?
Again, this one's kind of, I see it as kind of an extension of the core set, or of the big box one. It's not that hard.
No.
It's only like a 2. It can be hard if you're like really bad at investigating and you let the thing get really big.
Or if you just make the choice to just shoot it and kill it every time you see it, then all of a sudden there's just this 6/6 floating towards you, and you're like, please stop.
Like you have to have a bit of strategy. But
There's a risk involved with not killing it as well, though, because one of the cards that pumps it only pumps it if it's actually.
It also adds Doom to it. There's one that adds Doom.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
I
like-
think you said 2.
yeah,
I think 2 is reasonable.
Alright.
it's not hard, but like it can be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have investigators who are either very good at running away or fighting, then like, well, firstly, what are you doing? Because somebody's got to be able to deal with all the maniacs and cultists who are going to show up. It has to happen.
I am quite convinced you could finish this game playing 2 yellow characters.
We should try it sometime.
Just like
2 yellows and then Ash
Rex and
Campy.
Wendy.
Yeah.
Like just the boy walking around with higher education and like with those unidentified solutions and stuff.
Man, that actually would be fun. One thing
It
I want
sounds
to do.
really good.
One thing I want to do
actually.
more is do kind of more like theme decks, where it's like instead of just like building
This
the most
seems good.
optimal deck, just be like, here's the spell casting Jim Culver skull token deck,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Overall, how do we think about the Miskatonic
That's
Museum?
not good, by the way.
No, I don't think that would be good, but that's the point.
I think this one's pretty good. I'd give it like a 3.5. I think.
I'm on the more 2.5 thing, so let's see
It's
where
good.
Trey
I was
is.
gonna say a solid 3.
Well, I'll go 3 then. I feel like that's just that's right in the
It's
middle.
again, this is a very average scenario. It does a good job of pushing the story and
And there's a bear.
and
The bear is exciting.
introducing mechanics that are very relevant later, while having its own sort of. It does all these things while also managing to have its own unique flavor. So, this is a fine one.
Yeah.
Especially if you play it right.
And next on the list is
Especially if you play it right. If you play it wrong, it's very boring.
From what I understand, though, is it's actually quite common to make some mistakes like that in this one. Indecision made some of those mistakes. So, but the next one, we're going chugga 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 choo choo, which I'm excited for that one. So
That's a good one.
that'll be the next episode for these reviews. In the meantime, have a good one. If you like this, subscribe, let us know in the comments. I should say that stuff that people say at the end of YouTube videos, but I don't because I hate it. So, bye.